Welcome back to another Ret Paladin video. Verabin here. Today I'm starting a series called Road to Gladiator, and this is going to show my antics and experiences in PvP as I try to get Gladiator in Shadowlands Season 1. I've never gotten Gladiator before. I've gotten about 2.3, 2.4k rating way back in Wrath of the Lich King, so this is going to be my experiences. I'm pugging right now, so it's obviously a little bit more challenging, but this is week 1. Let's see how it goes. Before we get started with the video, please be sure to hash that like button and subscribe for more Ret Paladin content. We're going to be doing content 2 or 3 times a week in Shadowlands, so you don't want to miss a thing. Also, check out the description in the video for links to Patreon and different merchandises that are available. There's a lot of different ways you can support the channel, including Amazon affiliates. And the way that works is you click below, and even if you don't buy the items that are linked, anything that you buy in there, proceeds of that will go to supporting the channel. So if you're enjoying the content, please consider supporting it in one of those ways. So far in PvP, my biggest challenge has been finding partners who are willing to try a random comp and just kind of go with it. At the beginning of a PvP season, a lot of new people are coming back to the game. A lot of people are still learning their class and stuff like that. So finding someone who, is just willing to play some games and willing to, shake off the losses and things like that, I think was pretty challenging. So I did find a few people who were pretty chill and we had a good time playing. I played with the Hunter for a little while, and this comp seemed to work okay, especially against druids, but not against every sort of class. And a lot of it depended on, especially if we were against a rogue, a lot of it depended on could we get the rogue out of stealth or not. You can see in this clip, I just get killed by the rogue really, really fast. So that's my fault. I didn't bubble fast enough. In this video, we're against a Shadow Priest and Frost Mage. I'm not sure Frost. I don't know that Frost is the play right now. Frost is definitely really good in some situations, but I didn't find it to be all that difficult to play against. Despite them having 2 blocks and stuff like that, they still seem like they died really quickly. They didn't really have the survivability and stuff like that. So that comp didn't do that well. The other thing I'm finding with PvP, at least as a Ret Paladin, is that I'm ending up healing as much as I'm doing anything else. So at the beginning, I'm going to blow on my cooldowns and I'm going to try to get a kill really fast. But if I don't, I'm basically in support mode at that point. So that's something that's I think that makes sense for a Ret Paladin as far as our class fantasy and things like that. But it's something that is kind of hard to get used to, because even though you're not a healer, you have to really keep your healer alive or your other DPS alive, because it's definitely easy to just get killed really, really quickly. So after playing with the Hunter for a little bit, we decided to stop because we were kind of going up and down, up and down, up and down. And then I found a balanced druid who seemed like he was really good, and so I've been playing some more games with him. You can see we're playing against Rogue Mage. We played a lot of Rogue Mage, and they were kind of hit or miss. I kind of had to figure out what talents and stuff to use, things like that. So like in this case, I probably should have Blessing of Sanctuaried him out of that kidney. So I'm still kind of learning when to use that and when to hold it and stuff like that. So I think this one ends up being a loss though, because I think we take the rogue out here, but then the mage ends up killing me. Oh no, wait, looks like we're going to win. Okay, so we're going to win this one. So I think that Balanced Druids seem like they're actually a pretty good counter to Mage Rogue. So I think that this is actually probably a pretty decent comp. You can see we're still running at low MMR, but check this out. Boom, Solar Beam right onto the G-Pie. And then at that point, this mage comes into my line of sight. I'm able to get in combat, so no sap, and that gives us a really good start. So I think that a lot of it is obviously learning the comp and being willing to play and being willing to learn from your mistakes and things like that. So it's such a fast-paced game, though. You can see where it seemed like we were ahead, and then all of a sudden I'm at 50% HP. So it's been a really fun even just 1 week of trying to play random comps and trying to pug and things like that, because playing against even 15, 16, 1700 rated rogue mages are tough sometimes, because they can do so much damage so quickly, and you can miss one GCD and not bubble and think you're okay at 40 or 50% HP, and you're not. You're not okay. So when you're pugging in 2v2, obviously there's going to be 2 different types of setups you're going to see, right? You're going to see healer plus DPS, or you're going to see double DPS. And depending on the double DPS, sometimes the healer DPSs are harder or easier. It just kind of depends. But you can see you're basically just trading cooldowns really, really quickly. Even against one damage dealer, you still end up having to trade your cooldowns really, really quickly. And I've actually found that Eye for an Eye was a really, really good cooldown to have. It only has a 1 minute cooldown. It reduces your damage that you take from physical by 35%. So that's actually really, really strong. I didn't think, I've kind of saw that in BFA a little bit, but I wasn't really that used to using it. But I think that I got really used to it against warriors and rogues and also against pet classes. It seems pretty good. So in the situation of like an Unholy Death Knight, I think I popped it and it ended up doing something like 9,000 damage, even though because there's so many pets hitting you that you end up reflecting a lot of their damage. So I think that it's actually really good talent, and against most classes it's not going to matter as far as Cavalier or Unbreakable Spirit. You're just not going to get to that point. So here's another Mage Rogue comp that we fought. You can see that again we got the Solar Beam out. That's not the play against this comp. So I mean, maybe these Mage Rogues will figure that out, but that seemed to work pretty well as far as keeping the getting the mage out of he gets out of stealth or out of invis, and then you can pop him out of his greater pie, and then at that point, if the rogue's not ready to open on me right then we get a pretty good opener. So you can see it works out in our favor. Balanced Druid Ret seems pretty strong against Mage Rogue. So you can see here's another Mage Rogue. We got these back to back, and it seemed to work pretty well. You can see that I don't know why he DR'd his poly like that. That doesn't seem very smart. But I think on this one we started out a little rough. It looks like they were really running the Balanced Druid down, and then I get caught really far away. This is where Ret Paladin mobility becomes a problem. You can see how far I was just not doing anything. And then they're just training the Druid. So I put a bop on him. And then it looks like we proc the Mage. He ice blocks. Druid's still alive. Big 15k Word of Glory. And then we take the Rogue out. And then we're golden at this point. It's still a little sketchy. But Druids are really, really survivable. Another 10k Word of Glory there. So that worked pretty well. Here's against a double Paladin, and Ret Paladins are really, really strong. You can see the burst there on the Druid. You can see he got the Druid down to 50% HP just immediately, but luckily we're able to do the same thing. So I'm going to swap and hopefully scare the Paladin off, which I did, and then you can see that the Ret has already used his bubble, so we're actually in a pretty good spot right now. I'm going to bubble Repentance because the Druid is so low, and then I'm going to pop a couple of Word of Glories into him, then just start hitting the Ret. I'm going to, I think I stunned the Holy Paladin here. Nope, they both bubbled at this point, and Solar Beam is so clutch. Solar Beam is such a good ability. All right, so this is the last game we're going to look at. This is Warrior and Resto Shaman. This is a comp that's relatively difficult. I think with Spell Reflect, it can be challenging, but it depends on the warrior, depends on how hard they think we're going to burst. And if you've ever played with the Balanced Druid, they have a class ability called Convoke the Spirits that does so much damage, and most people are not prepared for that Balanced Druid burst. So that is all for the video, guys. We were able to hit 1,600. Like, comment, subscribe. See you in the next one.